Today on whathifi.com we're going to be taking a look at one of the more interesting and most speaker-packed in-car sound systems out there. It's made by Meridian and it's available for the new Range Rover. So Meridian's Signature Reference System is part of the optional Signature Entertainment Pack. Now this is a £7,800 option for the Range Rover, which also includes extra bits and pieces such as these ridiculously adjustable seats and also the twin high-def screens that you see in the back of the car. A couple of the main highlights of the system is the use of Meridian's Trifield sound processing technology, but also the use of height speakers. There's even a special surprise lurking in the back of the Range Rover, but there'll be more on that later. Now we've come across Meridian's Trifield processing technology before in a number of cars out of the Jaguar Land Rover stable. Now just to recap, basically what it does is it takes a stereo signal and it blends it into the surround and centre channels in the car for a more immersive, consistent experience. Now, because you've got these roof-mounted speakers front and back, Meridian have tweaked this processing technology into something called Trifield 3D, which, as you can probably guess from the title, is supposed to help create a more three-dimensional sound. Now, a signature reference system is also available for the Range Rover Sport, a car we've covered in the past. We'll put a link to the video in the description below. Now, that system pretty much mirrors the Range Rover system here in terms of speaker placement, but there is one major difference, that's the number of speakers. This Range Rover Signature Reference System has 29 compared to the 23 in the Sport. Now, where are those extra speakers, I hear you cry? Well, they're actually in the seat backs. So in an interesting move by Meridian, they've decided to put speakers in the front seats firing back at the rear passengers. So for example, in front of me, I've got two mid-range drivers and a tweeter, both firing towards me, as well as the speakers mounted in the doors, also the speakers behind me, the height speakers and the surround speakers, which all combine to help create your own kind of personal bubble of sound. It's a bit like having your own private listening room in the back of the Range Rover. I mean, everything integrates extremely well. Considering the number of speakers that are fitted inside the car, it's quite remarkable. I mean, you're hardly aware that there's a speaker firing out towards you from the back of the seat. It's really a really immersive sound field with very little gaps. So how does the system actually sound? Well, I mean, it's kind of that typical Meridian in-car sound system we've come to know over the last couple of years. It's quite a relaxed, easygoing sound. It's not hard or bright or too aggressive, which is the last thing you want really when you're embarking on maybe a long cross-country or even cross-continent drive. As I said before, everything's integrated extremely well. There's loads of detail there. Voices are handled extremely well too. Processing inside the car does a great job for both the front and back of the car. It's a great place to be. We'd like maybe a little bit more attack there, not too much, but also maybe a bit tighter bass. Maybe tighten that up a little bit too. But overall, it's a really relaxed, enjoyable and inviting sound. When we first saw and heard that Meridian put height speakers inside a car, we were a little bit unsure as to how that kind of would go, but it worked out really well. And it's a similar case with the seat back speakers really. I mean, some people might see it and think of it as a bit of a gimmick, but actually it works extremely well. I can't wait to see what other cars this kind of technology features in further down the line. If you've enjoyed this video and want to see more in-car videos from whathifi.com, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and add us on Google+.